Ladies and gentlemen, CNN named her the ultimate wedding planner extraordinaire. This young lady sets trends rather than follows them. Vogue USA named her one of the best wedding planners in the world. Paris Match named her one of the most influential wedding planners in the world. Entrepreneur and businesswoman with Sarah Haywood.
Ta-da. Wow. It can only go downhill after that, Billy. You realise that?
You have to have a fabulous introduction because you are one singular sensation.
It's making me warm just thinking about all the things you've said, because of course as you build your business, these things are bonuses. You mustn't ever believe it.
No, I know. And as I was saying the other day, we're only as good as our last gig. That's what I always say to myself, you know.
Exactly. Do you know what? I'm going to turn you up. Excuse me staring right into the...
Sure.
There we go. That's
Can you
better.
hear me, yeah?
Usually when I touch it, the thing then flops over. So if you suddenly get a view of my desk, you'll know why.
It happens to me too. It's all mud puns here.
Yeah.
But truly, that is all, everything that I just said is absolutely true. You have built the most incredible business. How did you get started?
A lot of sweat and tears. And so I got started, actually I had another career before this one.
Yes.
I used to be a TV reporter and a TV producer. And when I was in my early 30s, I looked around the newsroom and I thought, oh, there are no women over 40 in here. What am I going to do? I wasn't good enough to survive as, you know, one of the top reporters. I knew I wasn't that good. And I thought, well, I better do something else. And while I decided what to do, this sort of came my way. And I had been planning parties for the TV station that I worked for, which was a big network television company. And actually planning a party and planning a live television show is not that different.
Yes.
You know, you've got a series of events, you've got to do them on time. If things are working well, you let them breathe. If things aren't working so well, you rein them back. You've got to be creative. You've got to work to a budget. You've got to be able to lead a team. So these are all very transferable skills.
Yes.
I did say I would never plan weddings, and I don't really know how this happened, but it did, and so I just went with it.
Wow. What you were saying about, you know, holding it back, moving it forward, these are all like things in our timelines that we do when the wedding's running, because we can control that. Nobody, you know, that's a magic.
You've got a really good plan, and if you're somebody out there who's watching this and you're not in our industry but you're getting married, a really good plan is the magic ingredient. It's the single simplest thing that you are doing. You are working to a really, really good plan. And if it's chaotic, it will reflect in the event.
Yes. I would say the timeline is like the glue that holds the wedding together.
It really is.
All of us
it really is.
Yes.
It really is.
And it's the hardest thing, I think, for people to do as well, to know the flow, the ups and downs.
Yes. And have the confidence in the people that you've hired, whether you're a professional or whether you're just working on your own wedding, but having that confidence to listen to people. So if the kitchen say to you, you know what, we need another 10, 15 minutes, give them that other 10, 15 minutes. There's a good reason. I never ask why at an event. I never ask why anything needs to change. I just say, leave that with me. Unless of course it won't work, but generally it does. And that really, and when I learned that, which took me a while, always feeling the need to be in control and know what everybody's doing. And sometimes now our events, they're huge. They're not weddings, they're just productions.
They are.
You know, we've got several hundred staff. There isn't time to hear why everybody needs to do something. So I kind of organize it, have my generals underneath, you know, the heads of the different departments. If somebody comes to me and says, this needs to happen, I just say, okay, fine, let's communicate that.
Yeah. Oh,
and actually it's so much easier that way. Just trust everyone you've hired to do the job you've hired them to do.
Doesn't it take the stress off you as well a little bit? Because our job is like one of the top 5 most stressful jobs in the world. And
it really is.
It is. And
especially right now.
Oh, I know. And that's going to lead me into my next question. But when I learned to trust as well and not micromanage so much and and know that I'm surrounded by class vendors, it just made everything so much better.
I recently did a talk at a conference. And I had 22 minutes to talk on anything I liked, and they like it to be educational, and it was to industry. And I did a talk on teamwork, talking about astronauts and how the Apollo mission to the moon, and how, yes, there were the 3 astronauts that went up there and the 2 that landed on the moon, but there was a whole team of people, and without that team of people and without implicit trust in that team of people, it would never have happened. And there are so many amazing examples of teamwork. And at the heart of every successful professional in this business is they're all team players, every single one of them. And if they're not team players, they don't last 5 minutes.
Oh my goodness, that's absolutely right. And funnily enough, there's a TV commercial out here that is exactly that with the astronauts on the moon, and then it shows the people that are working underneath to get
really?
onto there, even down to the janitor cleaning up the trash.
It's true. It's true.
Everyone is super important. So that's funny that you should mention that, because it's a really great commercial.
I can recommend a podcast, a BBC podcast that you can still get, called 13 Minutes to the Moon. It requires some dedicated listening because it's several episodes, but it counts down the last 13 minutes to the moon, which if you listen to that with no knowledge of what was going on, it all sounds very calm and very smooth and everything's going according to plan. After having listened to that series, you then listen to that 13 minutes again, and you understand how pretty much anything that could have gone wrong did go wrong. And when they landed, they had 17 seconds of fuel left.
Oh my goodness.
And the trust that it must have taken to land on the moon, with those people saying to you, don't worry, you've got 17 seconds. Like I'd be out of there, you know, with 10 minutes of fuel. I'd be like, no, abort, go back up there. But that's like implicit trust. And I liked to use that analogy to say, imagine if if the world of events, we were all as precise and professional as NASA.
Yes.
What an industry we'd be in, and how we'd be revered.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, absolutely. But we are only as good as our team that we create, and our support team.
You're as good as the worst person on your team.
Yes, yes, that's so true. I'm very thankful, I'm sure you are, for all your suppliers and all our vendors.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, so talking about that and what's going on in the world right now, how are you coping over there in England? What's the wedding industry doing over there? Because we're like,
this is, I think,
this is our
week
third
3 or 4 weeks. This is 3rd or 4th week for us working from home. Before we were ordered to, we decided to, and one of my team has already had that first week. She went down with it.
Oh my gosh.
I have been in self-isolation with my husband. We're on day 19, so touch wood, I haven't got it, nor's he, and we're just going to stay like this. I'm very, very fortunate that we have a weekend place that used to be our main home, actually up in the country, and it's where I started the business. And I have an office which I'm sitting in now at the bottom of my garden. It's lovely. It looks back. It's in the middle of the countryside. We can go for walks. But if I was still in London, I would be going insane.
Yes,
I think going insane, and we live in a small flat there.
No, am I right
so we're working from home, and we're well organised.
Oh, are you in Oxford?
Oxfordshire, yeah.
Yes.
I live just outside Abingdon in Oxfordshire. For those of you who know where that is, it's sort of a little bit north of London.
How wonderful.
About 60 miles from London.
So I'm a Buckinghamshire.
Where are you from?
Buckinghamshire, Marlow.
Buckinghamshire, whereabouts?
Yes, Marlow.
Marlow, oh, very nice town on the river. Gorgeous.
Yes, and I'm sure
nice restaurants.
Yes, and I'm sure you've done beautiful weddings over there.
How did you end up, where are you, in LA?
Yes, I'm in LA. And you know what's so funny? I was thinking today along the questions, and sometimes I say to myself, how did a little girl from Marlow, Buckinghamshire end up in LA doing weddings? And I was going to say to you, do you sometimes think, how did this little girl from Oxfordshire end up doing global productions around the world?
If I knew the answer and how to do it again, I would bottle it and I would sell it.
Yeah.
Hard work, a lot of tears, and a lot of luck.
Yeah. Being in the right place at the right time, but having the structure and having the tools to make it happen. Yeah.
And then when luck comes my way, I take it. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for some luck now. Like, please. Yeah.
I mean, it's very hard right now, isn't it?
It's really hard. And it is really hard. I think 2 things. It's not as hard as many industries. And we should take a step back and remember that most of our clients are happy to postpone. That's amazing. We're going to go back with work.
Yes.
And we're all going to have to work extra hard when this is over to make up for the losses. And probably none of us will really make up for these losses. So pretty much all our clients, bar one, have moved to next year.
Oh, right.
So in fact, I've written everybody an email today. Did I print it out? I did.
Yes.
I have written all my clients an email today.
Yes. What did you say?
And I have explained to them how we're going to work. And I think this is really important. So I have 8 employees and I want to keep them all.
Mm-hmm.
But we have discovered over these last weeks, everyone working from home, people don't have clear boundaries between their personal lives and their professional lives. And most of us in this business don't have that anyway. But at a time like this, it's so unhealthy. It's so unhealthy to just respond when someone sends you an email or somebody sends you a WhatsApp. So I have told them that this coming weekend, we are going to finish at 2 o'clock on Thursday. And it's a holiday here in the UK, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I said, we're finishing at 2 o'clock on Thursday and we'll return to work next Wednesday morning. I thought, give them an extra day. Like, we've been working so hard postponing events. Then I've explained how we're working daily, and we're still having a daily lineup, but we're doing that later. Normally we all meet first thing in the morning. We go through our goals for the day, anything that hasn't been achieved or any problems that came up the day before, we go through them. We now have that at midday. Clients don't need to know that. And I've told them they don't need to worry. We have our weekly production and budget meetings. I've told them that fortunately I've got reserves in the company that mean I can keep all my staff. As long as this doesn't go into 2021, I can keep all my staff. Yes. And I've thanked them all for working with us to postpone their events the way we've needed to. But I've said that in order to justify this, I need all 2020's events pretty much planned by the end of the year, so that we're free to take on new work for 2021. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to do that, and we're going to have a double hit.
Yes.
So that's really, really important that people don't think, oh, I've just got another year, and I've got a team sat twiddling their thumbs. There's 5 on my event team, just sat twiddling their thumbs, waiting. So we need to still plan these events, and that's advice I'm giving other professionals. We still need to plan.
Exactly.
And also, you want to know that everyone you wanted to work with is available, and things that you haven't done, that you can get the suppliers that you want. And I've also done this revolutionary thing.
Yes. Gee, trendsetter, everyone, trendsetter.
Normal working hours will reduce to between 10:30 and 4:30 Monday to Friday. This is the big bit.
Yeah.
I've asked my event team to switch off their phones, or at least the notifications be switched off when they're not working. So if you don't receive an immediate response from anyone, please know that this is why, and as soon as the following working day is underway, we will respond to you. And I said, of course, you know, if they want to set up times outside of that, we can. But I've said, thank you for your understanding and working with me to ensure that my team stay healthy in mind, body, and spirit during what's effectively a lockdown.
Wow.
Because I need them to be absolutely at the top of their game when we come out the other side.
Because you know it's going to be madness.
It's going to be mad.
A round of applause, because that is, you're taking such great care of your team. And
well, I try to. They take care of me as well. And you know, it is a team, and I built the team from scratch. And many of them had no events experience. How many of them didn't?
Wow.
Can't remember. But you know, I've trained young people. The average age of my employees is under 30. Wow. So they're all quite young.
Yes.
I've got a light on here to try and make me look less washed out. It's really hot.
You're so good. You have a light. I have this, but I don't know if it does anything.
I've got a big circle, and I stick the phone in it. I can do different lights, but it's really hot.
Oh, you're fancy.
So that's what I've been doing anyway.
I'm not fancy like you.
So that's what I've been doing. And then I've told them, as Her Majesty the Queen told us last night when she addressed the nation. Did you all see it?
God bless her. I'm going to YouTube it today.
We look forward to being together again with you very soon, as Her Majesty the Queen said.
I know.
That's
I love
how I ended
it.
So I think that's what business owners have got to do. We've got to take care of our staff.
Yes.
And we're so lucky that we've got businesses that can come out the other side if we nurture them now.
Yes. And that's what it is.
We have to nurture them now.
Yeah.
And clients, by and large, I think clients will be understanding. And they're in lockdown as well. So they've got time to plan with us.
Now, your clientele is very high, high global cost, they're,
Rich.
You have very big, what's the word I'm looking for? Yes. All right. I was trying to find a posh word, and I had it in my notes and I can't find the word I was looking
for.
Global, successful clientele. Yeah. So does this, I mean, I know the economy here is tanked, but does this affect them as much as normal people?
Here's the thing.